Good Monday afternoon to you on this Memorial Day. This is Pastor Steve Kelly, and I want to share with you briefly today just some thoughts that I think are unavoidable on Memorial Day. This is the day in which we celebrate, honor, remember those that have given the ultimate sacrifice so that we could remember them, so that we could go forward with life. So for some of us, that's having a crawfish bowl today. Maybe for others, going to the beach. Some are visiting cemeteries. Some are just taking the day off. Some are doing yard work. Some are doing a variety of things. But many gave all so that we could have freedom. And I think a passage of scripture that really stands out related to this, and it's one that hit me immediately this morning as I was contemplating what to share with you today, is from John chapter 15. Jesus is speaking not long before his crucifixion. He said, "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that he lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command." Just a handful of things I want to pull from that today that I think are relevant on Memorial Day. And it's first of all this, my command is love each other as I have loved you. So how do you love like Jesus loved? Well, what does it look like? Well, he was about to show them what that love looked like at the cross. The cross would define his kind of love. Now, they certainly felt his affection during the 3 years of his ministry, but they were about to see the illustration of his love. So I command you, love each other as I have loved you. Now, what kind of love is that? Well, verse 13 describes it. Greater love has no one than this, that he lay down his life for his friends. Wow. Now that's a verse that I believe Christians and non-believers alike would say, yes, I buy into that the greatest love that a person can ever exhibit is love that is sacrificial in nature. Greater love has no one than this, than to have sacrificial love. And so on Memorial Day, I think of soldiers. I think of Vietnam. I was a little boy when that was going on. Prior to that, of course, Korea. Before that, the World Wars, and it just goes back historically. But when I think of sacrificial love in terms of the military, I think of a soldier that's on the field, and an enemy has thrown a grenade in the middle of a bunch of them. And then out of nowhere, one of the soldiers makes the decision at the spur of the moment to throw his body and absorb the shock of the grenade and die. To sacrifice himself for everyone else. Because here's what he understood. Those that were around him, there were others that may have done the same, but he got to it first. And that's the kind of people we honor this year and every year with Memorial Day. Those that were willing to sacrifice. And I think that may be one of the lost attributes of our day, is that people want to be blessed, but people do not want to sacrifice. People want to get, but people do not want to pay a price that lays the foundation for future blessing. And so Jesus is saying here that greater love is to sacrifice. Some of you watching this, you've sacrificed a lot. In fact, you've sacrificed for your kids. They couldn't argue with that, and people know it, and you've given everything to give your kids a better life. Some of you have sacrificed greatly for Bayou Vista Baptist Church. Over the years, you've taught. You missed getting away for the weekend. You missed going on personal vacations to chaperone kids' trips. You've given significant money to do renovations or build buildings, or in times where we were in low spots financially, you kicked up some and helped. I mean, there are people that are watching today. Your life is defined by sacrifice. Maybe where you work, you're the one that comes through when others are unwilling to step up to the plate. The world needs people who are willing to sacrifice. And Jesus goes on to say this, you are my friends if you do what I command. So the commandment is verse 12, love each other. And then he says, this kind of love is sacrificial love. And if you want to be my friend, you will be a sacrificer as well. So he's saying, love one another through sacrificial love, and that is in obedience to what I command you. What if each of us had the mindset of sacrifice? That it's not about me. It is about giving someone else a better future. It is about paying the price for those I do not even know. If we were to go to national cemeteries today, there would be stones everywhere in those cemeteries of people that died for those they barely even knew. There are guys that died for their fellow soldier that was in their company that they barely knew anything about them, and they sacrificed. Church, we have communities of people we do know. Isn't it incumbent upon us to be a people who sacrifice so that others can know Jesus? I'm not asking you to throw yourself on a grenade, but I am asking yourself to consider, what is the calling of sacrifice that God has given to you and has given to me in the days in which we live? Because here's what we know. In a day where people do not understand love, they do appreciate sacrifice. And so let's communicate the love of Christ in the days ahead as we sacrifice for Him and for each other. Have a wonderful holiday, but let's remember, we're remembering the importance of sacrifice. God bless you. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.